Hello and welcome everybody to the DotSAIn podcast number 02. That means 2 for all of you people who don't know what 0 means. Anyway, I'm
Oh, damn.
Scanoru and this over here is SethCane.
Hi.
Say hi.
My voice cracked or popped or whatever. Eh.
And that's our take. That's everything. That's our whole world right now. So we're going to talk to you guys about some
And we're
random stuff.
done. Podcast over. It's perfect. What? No.
I agree, but just for a little bit more clarification. Let's talk some more. Number one.
Go on.
Number 1, son, shut up. Number 2, you're older than me.
That is actually
And
true.
we are going to talk about school. Talk about
man.
some schooling stuff.
I
Yeah,
wanna
I
deal
just
with this shit I have
started
to
on
do.
that, and you're gonna
Fucking hate you.
you're gonna talk about it. You're gonna talk about some schooling.
Okay, so for those that don't know, I've personally started. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. Damn you.
Alice, give me your background noise.
I can add in music. Anyways,
Just keep going.
I've started college full time again. For the past year I've been doing one class because I didn't know what I was really doing. For 2 semesters. Which all in all wasn't really bad. It was focused in my degree discipline, so it was nice. But yeah, I've started school for game design again, or they call it something really freaking weird, and I don't feel like even thinking about what the name is because it's way too freaking annoying to say.
Well then,
It's like a tongue twister that isn't a tongue twister. It's that annoying. It's just that annoying. Yeah, it's stupid. Anyways, it's game design.
All right then.
Kind of like my
Yes.
degree I have right now is in game design. It's just not called game design. It's stupid. They're trying to make it more enticing, and it's annoying when you're trying to search for these places that specialize in this.
What's more enticing
Well,
than
they're
you know
trying
those
to
things
make
you
it
play
so
all the
that-
time because you're a nerd?
No, they're trying to make it more enticing and more sound more professional.
Yeah, I understand. They're trying to
It's
make it more
stupid,
legit.
though. Yeah, they're trying to make it sound more professional, so parents will think that okay, this might be okay, and it is. It's hard to get into, but when you're there, you're good. You also
And it's
learn a
just
lot
like
of other
performing in
skills that
anything.
are not just for game design.
Like you could
Like,
go into any form of
You,
media.
if
pretty
you're
much.
like what I'm doing, which is a more art side, I can go and do animations for, say, Disney or something like that. I can go and do that. I can animate. I can edit. I can do a lot of different things with this degree, as
You could
well as
make
I can
a YouTube
actually
channel.
learn to code. Well, yeah, there's just that too. But I'm starting to learn to code, and that's the other side of my degree. There's 2 parts. It splits. One's more coding, one's more art. So then there's the coding side that you can go into, and it's nice for those that want to code. I'm currently taking a coding class, and I'm scared out of my freaking mind because I'm sitting in class.
It's not that hard.
Well, the teacher's like explaining it, is making it sound easy. He's like, "Oh, this is so easy," and then I look at the textbook I have to read, and I'm like, "The f am I seeing here?" Someone explain.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
like
hate
reading the most boring thing in the world.
Yeah,
But it's fun. It's
explaining
easy, I
it, and
promise.
it's just like, can the teacher just teach it to me? Like, to me,
It's not that
reading
easy.
reading a book doesn't help me. I mean, it does, but it's only like it's just there, and it's information that I just kind of store in a certain place and don't really touch until like, oh, here's a connecting point. There we go. Now that information becomes relevant. And I have to have a game at the end of this, or a mock game at the end of the semester. It can be basically, if anyone knows the game Worms, like the old style worm or snake. Yeah, it's called Snake. Sorry. You know, where you go around and you're this line or this dot, and then you turn into a line, and you can't curl around on yourself, and you have to collect dots to become longer and longer and longer and longer. Yeah, that. That is basically the style
That's
of
a boring
game I
game.
can go and code. Yes, well, it's not supposed to be a sophisticated game. That's at the end of my
Yes.
degree. That's the end of my degree.
The end of your degree better be as good as
I
like
will have basically
RPG
what they
Maker.
say. Yeah. Oh yeah, it will be. Or I hope it will be. Basically,
It better be
at the
better
end of the
than
game, we
RPG
should have
Maker.
a game that is either pre-alpha or alpha. Is basically the game, or a yeah, pre-alpha. Because we get a year to do it. That's one semester, the break period in between semesters, and the following semester. You get 2 semesters to do this. And it's one class. And you work as a team. So I'm hoping I get a lot of coders in my group. Because I don't mind working as the only artist. I would prefer having another artist there. But seriously, I would rather have a game that's unique than a game that I'm copying from. Because that's basically what the art people have to do if they have a big art group. Is figure out how to make a game and code it. This class is where the coders and the artists get flung into. Now make something. Is basically what this class is.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
It's like a year. It's like an almost year-long game jam, kind of. So I might be streaming that
I
too, but
mean,
that's
that's
not going to be
from the
for a
most
while
game
now. That's not going to
possible.
be like. I'm hoping it's like maybe next year. I'm not even sure. I'm really not, but
You're an indie game company.
yeah, basically we're making that, and it's going to be fun. But I'm also taking a animation class or modeling class, so I'm relearning and learning more of the programs that I'm dealing with. I'm using 3ds Max right now, which is a Autodesk program. It's a modeling program. Iven knows Maya, which is also the sister program to 3ds Max. It's more sculpting based. Mine's more rigid based. If you will. Each one
Mm-hmm.
has its own different kind of uniqueness to it, but they both pretty much do the same thing. Like I can go and make a rigid scene and
It's super
3ds
fancy.
rigid scene in Max, which is basically building and stuff, and then I can make soft models, which are basically plushies or humanoids, animals, that type of stuff, anything biological. Um,
Yes.
so that's gonna be fun for me at least. Uh,
It better be, or I'm gonna punch you square in your gut face.
my gut face. My face has a gut.
Your face's gut or your gut's face?
Whatever. And then the other 2 classes are a business class and a stupid
Ew.
learn about yourself.
Ew.
Pretty much. It's learning. It's like ethical stuff and it's business stuff. The
How
business
to
stuff on the one side,
conform.
though, I will give it credit. It's actually good to know this stuff
I
for the
was gonna
business
say,
side.
like, I'd
Business
rather
side,
see the
that's
business
good.
stuff because we need to see it
The
eventually.
ethics bullshit is annoying, though. That is just why. Why are you existent? But and on the other
Because
hand,
we
for
can't
me,
step on the toes of the rich.
yeah, it is poking certain positions in my head that likes like psychology and sociology, though. It's understanding the human mind a little bit step further in a different way. So it does intrigue me, but I hate that I have to push it towards myself. I don't
Yeah.
like that. That
Yeah,
part, I don't care about myself generally.
yeah,
That
I
sounds annoying, but mostly everyone doesn't really care about themselves in the way that they're thinking. They
oh,
do,
they
but they
don't care
don't.
about growing themselves.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. It's more of a mental thing than it is like, oh, I want to go do this. Well, it's more of why do you want to go do this? What made you go do this? One of the examples we have in class that we learned was
Thoughtception.
the difference between, or not the difference. What is self-deceit? Do you know what self-deceit is?
I could guess.
Go ahead, guess. I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
Well, deceiving is to like lie or trick, right? So self-deception is basically lying to yourself. So if you
Kind
hide
of,
something
yeah.
from you hide something from yourself, or you lie to yourself, or you're destroying yourself without
Yeah, kind
realizing
of.
it. You're doing bad things that you're not realizing.
Yeah, you got the wrong part correct. But the full definition is, or an example of it, because I can't remember the full
Expert
definition,
definition.
is that we deceive ourselves to get something we want, though we're wrong for doing so. That's the definition. So say I want um, a new. Well, I do want a new another smaller laptop that I can bring around because I'm annoyed.
Oh, you
But
mean like
basically,
turning want into need,
yeah, kind
but
of,
it's
yeah.
not really a need.
So it's basically you're telling yourself if I do this, then I can get this because I did that thing. No.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
one of the examples in class was the person's sister wanted to get a MacBook. Well, the reasoning why she wanted to get a MacBook was that it would help her learn better. That's wrong because
Oh,
it's
I
the
got
push you
okay.
give to do something in it. You can use any of the computers on campus. There's a couple of them. God damn it, hold on.
Pause. And you step down.
Alright, sorry about that. I just pissed off my mom. But just like, come the fuck on. Anyways.
Whoa.
As she puts a dent in the wall. Nice. That's mature. This is why you knock on the door and see if I'm busy. My dad gets that. My mom doesn't. Whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways, beyond that, so that's what self-deceit is. And that's the type of stuff we're learning is the idea behind it. Or behind the human mind and why it does certain things. So, ethics.
yeah.
And we all have
Gotcha.
them. We all have ethical things we do. Anyways, that's the boring part of the whole conversation. Now on to you, because you have some class-related stuff.
Sort of,
about.
yeah. I'm actually going back to school, but to do that, I have to move out with my girlfriend, Labby Love, and move back in with my parents. That destructive situation I was in.
Yay!
Again, yeah, seriously. Woo. But, yeah, apparently I'm going to obtain a workspace and a time limit, so I can't play until, like after 12, I have to turn it off or some shit, which doesn't matter because you guys probably won't be able to do much longer than that anyway. But,
Well, I will, but whatever. That's me.
well, I can do it with you sometimes, whatever. But the point is, yeah, I'm going back to school because I'm sick of being in a useless place where I feel like I'm losing intelligence, and through lack of training, my brain is getting slower. Like, I understand the capacity of your brain will slowly go down, but not at 21 or 20 whatever. I'm totally not 21. Anyway, so I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to try and be a teacher again. I might also take the time to learn things like music and editing and Japanese because I just want to. Learning for fun. That's kind of a novel concept, but, you know, I'm going to try and go for it this time. That's all I got to really say for that. Also, I have to go to a psychologist because my mom thinks I'm insane. But other than that, we're good. We're good.
We
I
all
promise.
think you're insane. You're in good company. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you guys are too. It's okay if you say it.
Yeah.
What's the next subject?
Next subject.
Boy, I don't remember.
Next subject was me again. So there's a couple new tech stuff that have been coming out.
Super techy.
Well, sorry, I pay attention to it.
Super techy. Just keep going. It's your theme song. Deal with it.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. So as many people probably realize, Apple had their event this last 9th. I don't remember when that was. That was last Wednesday of this recording, which is the 12th of August. So the 9th of August is when they revealed the they showed off more of iOS 9. They showed Apple Watch or Watch OS 2, and they revealed the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, and the iPad Pro and the accessories that go with it. So how do I want to even go about this? That can make it quick, short, quick, and to the point, so I'm not like drowning people with brains. Um, so let's start off with the Apple Watch. Simple, easy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I killed everyone apparently. I killed everyone. All right, let's start off with the Apple Watch. So there's nothing new to the Apple Watch. There's not a new one. It's just the OS is being updated to the 2 version of it. It adds in a lot of more sophistication to the watch, a lot more of the, if you will, native apps. The native means it's on that device. Like the original OS was more streaming the connectivity between it and your phone, and the phone was doing most of the processing of gathering the information and sending it over, and then the Apple Watch would display it. In this case, you can load apps natively in the Apple Watch without having to call over all the time to the iPhone.
Like magic.
Yeah. There's also some new watch faces. Some of them animate now. And they have 2 new colors. They take after the sport version, which has a gray, kind of looks matted, a matte gray and a matte black, or their space gray, and their silver, if you will. They name it weird stuff. It's gray and black. Just say it like that. It's gray and freaking black.
It's gray and freaking black. Continue.
It's freaking black. Like, come on now. And then they have their gold, which, from what I've heard, is more of a champagne color. So it's a light gold. And the other one's a rose gold, which is more of a lighter pink. So that's nice, I guess, if you're into that. I'd rather have the black iPhone, to be quite honest, because I have the white one. I don't mind the white one. I just didn't want the white one to begin with. It was the fact that my carrier didn't have the black one in the memory size that I wanted. I wanted a 64 gigabyte iPhone. They only had that in white or gold, and I was hell not going to go with gold.
I mean, you know, gold's a lovely color that... No, it's not.
No, it's not. Anyway, so they have that. They have some new fall-colored bands. And so, yeah, there's that. I'm not sure. Like, I'm kind of curious how they're going to update the watch. There's been rumors about, like, a front-facing camera on the watch, which I'm just like, hey, yeah, they do that. That is the most stupidest thing in the world. But it could become a thing because it's Apple. But again, it's a rumor. It hasn't been confirmed. It hasn't been denied. So I'm just curious when they're going to, like, roll out the Apple Watch 2. Like, what is going to be so big that they're going to do it? I'm pretty sure they're going to take the Apple Watch into the zone of they just will update the specs on the inside. They're not really going to call it 2. They're going to just call it the Apple Watch and just refresh the internals to make it more up to date with processing power. That's pretty much all they're probably going to do. Which makes sense because the Macs do that. They do that with the Macs all the time. They don't really introduce a new Mac, if you will, like a Mac Pro, a MacBook Pro. They don't really introduce that. They refresh it and they show the OS, the OS X, for the Mac and what they've updated to it. Otherwise, they just refresh the internals kind of secretively. Not really. They display it on their site. I've actually noticed they originally used at the high end, which was about, I think, $2,000 or near $2,000 for the high end 15-inch, which used to be a 17-inch. They had an NVIDIA 750M. They now have an AMD. I hate AMD. Not because they're a bad company. It's just it didn't run the games I wanted them to. It wasn't powerful enough. Now, they might have caught up with NVIDIA. I'm not sure. But NVIDIA and ATI are the competing heads. They're basically Verizon and AT&T of the cellular world. Or of the graphic world, I should say. Yeah, let's go with that. Anyways. So, and AMD is kind of like Sprint. It's kind of lagging behind, but it's catching up type thing. Anyways. Or it's trying to.
Yeah.
So that's a little comparison for you. That in my eyes, at least, from what I can tell. All in all, it's okay. So they switched that over, and that's really all they do with it. That's what I'm expecting them to do with the Apple Watch. They're not going to bring a new, excuse me, Apple Watch out like next year. They're not going to refresh it like. God damn it, I have burps now. The iPhone. The iPhone, it makes sense for them to kind of refresh it to keep it relevant. The Apple Watch is kind of a novelty thing. I mean, even with the Android watch, the Android Wear watches, same thing. They're a novelty, though there's billions of them because it's Android. Android's more open source. Apple keeps everything closed in. Which brings me to another topic, same to the Apple Watch, though. Watch, we're talking about wearables now. Is that Android, though it's not going to have full, like, access to the iPhone, but they've made an app that allows the phone to pair with any watches, Apple, or not Apple Gear. What am I talking about? Android wearables. Going on from the what was it? It's one of the newer phones that came out. I forget. It's the Urbane. That's what it's called. The Android Wear Urbane, or whatever it's called. The Urbane in general. That watch will be compatible with that app that will allow the iPhone to talk to it. It's not just exclusive to Android anymore. Which you originally, the Pebble and the Apple Watch were the only wearables you could get for the Apple Watch. This now expands the horizons of what the iPhone can talk to, which is awesome. Because I've also been seeing this thing of Android has it, and so does Apple, where they have apps on opposite ends of their app stores, so Google Play and App Store, where it makes it easier to transfer your information from one phone to the other. So you can transfer back and forth. So that was kind of a precursor, and now you have this. That's really cool. Because, and again, it's not going to have full integration with the iPhone, but it will talk to it. It will give you notification. It will give you the Google cards and stuff. It will show you messages. It will show you text. It will show you calls. You just can't really like answer the calls, and you can't really text back using your voice. But it's there. It's what it was designed to do. The Apple Watch kind of takes a step further. The wearables kind of do and don't in certain areas, but are the Android ones. But all in all, they're all pretty much the same. People are going to hate me for that, but the watches are pretty much the same in what they're trying to do. The idea behind them and why they're existent. So, segue that to the iPhone. The new iPhone 6s and 6s Plus came out, or was revealed. It'll be out sometime in September, I think in the next 2 weeks. I think pre-orders start now, and they'll be out in the next 2 weeks. The iOS 9 will be out next week on Wednesday, the 16th, I believe, if I remember that correctly. And so, yeah, that's cool. They're really just rolling these out real quick, which is interesting. The funny thing is they're already working on iOS 9.1. There's already a beta out for that, apparently, a closed beta. It's kind of funny in that regard. I don't get it. If there's an issue, fix it now before the OS comes out. But I get why they're doing it, because they've tested iOS 9 a whole fuck ton. They haven't tested iOS 9.1 at all. So there could be major bugs in iOS 9.1. So it makes sense.
There's going to be.
There's going to be issues with 9. I just know there are. And that brings me to, again, the Apple phone. The iPhone. Fuck. The iPhone in general. The iPhone 6. I'm just going to say that one. The Apple phone. It's the new wave of... No. They added Force Touch. Stupid-ass name. That's why they renamed it to 3D Touch. It's the same thing. Different name. No one liked the Force Touch for the name. No one did it. They all thought it was silly, which is why they ended up changing it. Which is okay. It's not like, oh, that's such a terrible thing. Oh, why'd you do that? And it's not. It really isn't. Basically all it is just like the Apple Watch, it has sensors below the glass and below, I believe, even the it's underneath the screen, if you know what I mean, the LCD or whatever they're using. I don't know if it's AMOLED or whatever, but it's the screen, the thing that gives you color and visuals. It's underneath of that, and it's a thin layer of pressure sensors that can tell how you're pressing and how hard you're pressing. Just be careful, because I know some people are going to do this and press so hard, especially for people that are going to test the phone out. They're going to press as hard as they fucking can to break the screen. Don't press as hard as you can to break the fucking screen. If you do, you're a freaking idiot. Let the people on YouTube, that's, if you will, their job is to do that. Don't be stupid. It's just like the freaking Galaxy S6 or 7, I don't remember. It's one of the Android, the Samsung phone that came out. The Edge and the Note. No, it's just the Note. Yeah, it's just the Note. The Note has a pen that you can, a stylus that you can pull out. That's cool because you can write notes and do stuff, and you can do more delicate stuff or more detailed stuff with the pen. That's cool. Except for you can put it in backwards and fuck up the pen. The pen, it has a sensor in the tip and in the phone that senses when the pen's put in the case and being taken out of the case or in the little holding area. You can put that inside out. You can put the butt end that's supposed to be out in, and it's stupid. And they actually have a section, and this has been all over tech news and stuff, is that there's a section, there's no fix for it. They're not going to replace phones because you're stupid, because they have a coverage in their usage guide that says, remember to put the pen in correctly. It doesn't actually say that, but it's pretty much that's what it's saying. Don't be stupid. Put the nib end in first. Put it in correctly.
That's special.
So they know it's a thing. It's just they don't feel like fixing it until you have to get a new Note. So it's just like, really? Really? Anyways, back to the iPhone. So there's Force Touch now, or 3D Touch, whichever. It's the same thing, pretty much.
DS Touch.
Oh my god. Anyways, yes, it's using pressure instead of capacitive. It's a different style. And even then, I don't even think the DS, as you were trying to bring up there, actually used it. It uses a wire frame for touch. It's more like a Palm Pilot type tech. If anyone remembers what a Palm Pilot is.
I don't.
It's, figure it this way. It's the first smartphone. Before BlackBerry,
Okay.
even, I think. I'm not sure. I could be totally wrong on that. But basically, it was around that time period where big screens and things in the palm of your hand and styluses were coming into use. It didn't use this pressure tech. It didn't use this capacitive tech. It used a mesh screen like the original DS did. There's just thin wires, very thin. You can barely see them. That runs all along the screen. I think the newer DSs, though, use a pressure tech, though, now. I'm not sure. I've totally lost track of Nintendo. So yeah, it has that.
I don't know either.
It has that, which is the biggest feature, because that's what iOS 9 really does. It's for this Force Touch stuff. Or the 3D Touch. It's designed for that, because they added in moving images, which I've been told is actually similar to an idea that Instagram had already. Basically, there's no play button, and you force touch into the screen. You push into the screen a little bit, and the images become from solid to a GIF, and it takes the image 2 seconds before and 2 seconds after the image was taken, and compiles it. And it's not a moving image until you force press into it. There's also some shortcut stuff for photographs and whatnot. But yeah, that's called, for the camera, that's called, what is it? Live photos? Living photos? Live photos? Something like that. It's basically, you're storing data
Animated
beneath
photos.
you're storing data beneath a solid object. and telling that solid object to become animated, and so the GIF comes out to the top, and then vice versa, and then it flips back underneath when it's done. It's basically all it's doing. It's a picture and a GIF put together, layered on each other. Pretty much all it is. It's cool though. I like the idea of it. I didn't know it existed, so it's cool that it's now more, if you will, readily available. Because I don't use Instagram. I don't like Instagram. I don't like Facebook. Facebook owns Instagram. Facebook owns a lot of different apps that you don't think that they'll actually own, but they have some sort of trade in. Like WhatsApp. Everyone uses WhatsApp. WhatsApp is technically co-owned or partly owned by Facebook. So I will never use it. Then people that need to talk to me, they generally, if I know them, they have my number. They can call me or text me. There you go. That sums that up. Anyways, but it's just this cool idea behind it, right? It's really interesting. Because I didn't know it existed, and yeah. What else is it? Oh, camera-wise, the camera's been updated to do 4K video. So that's awesome for people that take a lot of video. Not awesome for me. And it does 12 megapixels now. So that's good. Don't remember the exact percentage, but it was 8. Now it's 12. The front-facing, I believe, is 2. Originally, like the one on my phone right now, my 6, I believe is like a 2 or 3 or something. I don't exactly remember. All I know is it's dumbed down. It's a dumbed down version, which is why it doesn't take very good photos, especially in low light. It's been updated to a 5, I believe. But most of the time, people are always talking about the back facing anyway. So that's a 12 megapixel, and that's really where I care about too, as a kind of amateur photographer. That's where I care about, or that's what I care about. All right, so Force Touch on the main screen basically allows you to tap into different shortcut menus on apps. Like on the phone app for the iPhone, you can Force Touch into that, and a little icon will pop up, and you can get to your favorite contacts real quick that way. You can go, when you're in Messages by themselves, you can click on like a address or like an address or a link or something, and you can press into that and get a preview of what you'll be looking at, and you can push further in, and it does what they call popping. It pops into place. Basically, it's just bringing whatever app it was loading into to figure out the information and brings it full app thing and whatnot. There's also Force Touch from the corner where you can slide over and get to your last app or get into the multitasking menu now. So people that want to use that, they can. All in all, it's a cool update. I like the Force Touch idea. I like the camera. The camera update's awesome. I need to see how it performs, though, from other people. I'm not going to get it. I already got an iPhone. To me, it's not worth the $300, noting that I'm a college student. I don't have $300 because I would be getting another 64 gig model. That, and I'm on a 2-year contract. So, A, I can't, and B, I don't have the money. So it's not just me saying that I don't like it. I like it. It's a cool update. It's just not worthwhile for $300.
It'll go down in price, I'm sure.
It won't. Until the next model comes out. And then it might. But it will only drop maybe about $100. But yeah. So for me, in my suggestion, unless you're like, oh, I have money to like just burn and not care, and or you want to be like, I want to be up to date, I want to be on top of the new tech. What I suggest to you, or you need a new phone in general. That's where I was going with this. If you break your phone, go ahead. I don't see an issue, depending on if your carrier lets you or not, or if you want to pay whatever. I don't know. It usually depends on your carrier and your contract and bullshit like that. Or if you have an unlocked phone, you can just kind of say, sure. But you'll be, instead of paying $300 like I would, I'll be paying about $700 for an unlocked 64 gig model, because that's how much they're actually worth, apparently. And that's for all smartphones, mind you. That's the Samsungs. That's any popular phone. They're about $700, 600 more so. The starting price of bringing starts around 600. It drops down in price because you usually get put on a 2-year contract, and the company, like the providers, actually have been trying to get rid of the 2-year contract. They've been kind of shoving it to the side. People didn't like that, so they brought them back, but they're kind of, you have to ask to get them. Because otherwise you're going to be paying out your nose. And at that point, go pay Apple. Just go to an Apple store, buy an unlocked phone, because then you can go to whatever freaking store you want. All you have to do is hopefully hope that whatever you did to your phone to break it did not break the SIM card. That's all you have to do. Because all you have to do is pop out that SIM card, go get a new phone, pop it in, you're good to go. Really all you need to do, I believe. I could be totally wrong. Someone can correct me if I am. I don't mind. But that's what I believe an unlocked phone really means, other than the fact that you can go to any freaking carrier you want. End all be all is, it's not worth it to me unless it breaks or the iOS updates stop coming to my model of phone. So until the 6 doesn't get updates for its OS or breaks, I'm not getting a new one because I don't have $600 or $300 to burn. I just don't. I used to. I don't anymore. But yeah. So after that is the iPad Pro. Well, and I'm just going to put this up there for you. It's basically the Surface, Microsoft Surface. That's basically what the iPad Pro is. I will boil it down to that. People will hate me for that. That's what it is. Apple is copying Microsoft. Get it out of your minds that Apple is making new shit. They're not. It's like Samsung, Apple copying each other. Same thing. People got upset by Samsung taking the design concept from the 6 model, the iPhone 6, and using it in theirs. The nice gray, the nice dark gray, and it's the metal finish, and then the antenna lines. Different, though. It's technically the same idea behind it. This case looks different. The iPad looks different than the Surface. They're the same thing, though. They have a magnetic attaching keyboard that is also a cover. It uses a magnet port on the bottom, though they're using 3. Oh my god, Scan. They're using 3 dot connectors to transfer energy and information. Or Microsoft, yeah, is using more of, I think, a pin technology. It's more pin. It's still magnet, but they're more pin-like, I think. I'm not sure. And there's more of them. But that's because also it's transferring trackpad data. It's transferring light, or it's the keystrokes. It's the touchpad, the keystrokes, and it's powering the keyboard, plus the LED lights that backlight it. Basically, the iPad Pro is the Surface, because guess what? They also created the luxurious, and they don't say luxurious, but the revolutionary, or whatever the hell they called it, the Apple Pencil. It's a stylus. And everyone keeps going back to the iPhone. I will bring this up too, because it's funny. Originally, when Steve Jobs, I can say his name, I swear, brought the iPhone out, the first ever iPhone, he was like, no one likes styluses. They have stylus now. Though for this, it's not talking about... Yeah, that's also why they're doing it. It's also... It's a bigger screen. It's 12 inches instead of the... I forget how much my iPad Air is. Or how big my iPad Air is. But basically, if you stand the iPad Air on its end, where the lightning connector is down, that's half of the screen. Or a good chunk of it, at least. I don't quite remember if it's the half the screen or over half the screen. I think it's over half, though, from what I saw. Anyways, that's how it's way bigger. And that's with the iPad Pro sitting on its side. So, you have the iPad Pro, cool. You have the keyboard, cool. You have the pen, cool. Also, the pen's charging ability? What the fuck, Apple, were you thinking? You have to plug it in. It is a male-to-female connector. They have a lightning connector. You know the thing that you charge your phone with, Scan? You plug it into your phone? Well, you got to take that pen, charge it by plugging it into your iPad.
That's stupid.
Don't worry, I'm pretty sure a first party or third party charger will come out for it eventually. 'Cause money. Oh, and speaking of money, just like Microsoft and people not liking that Microsoft sells the Surface, the keyboard, and the pen separate, well, the iPad does that. They did that with the iPad Pro too. The iPad Pro, the keyboard, or the Smart Keyboard, and the Apple Pencil are sold separately. The Apple Pencil is $9.99. The keyboard is 100 something, I think 49, so 150, I think dollars. So pretty similar to the Surface's pen and the Surface's keyboard. And I can't say anything for the iPad itself though, because well, that takes on a new life because it's not really running a full OS. It's running iOS. So it is and isn't a full-on computer. My tablet right now, my iPad I have, has a Bluetooth keyboard, and I use it like a computer for class because my other computer that I wanted to use, A, heats up too quickly, and B, well, its battery is not holding a charge very well anymore, sadly. It's got like an hour of battery life, if that, in it. It's silly. It used to be 4. Anyways. Point being, they're basically copying the structure of the Surface and calling it their own. And people are getting hyped about that. But here's the other thing. Before the Surface even existed, the idea of a screen, a mobile screen with a stylus was already accomplished by Wacom and their Cintiq. They took that a step further and used, I think, Microsoft 8 or Windows 8.1 RT. So what I believe the iPad, or not the iPad, fuck, the Surface Pro 2 was using, I think, and was using that, or it was running Android. I think actually you can get either or of those. You can get an Android running Cintiq, or you can get a Microsoft running Cintiq. Basically, it was called the Cintiq Companion. And what it was you could set it up like a normal Cintiq, hook it to a computer, they talk to each other, they're happy with each other, or you could take it away from your computer, unplug it, totally become wireless, and it becomes a, if you will, iPad or Surface.
Hey Seth, can I interrupt for 2 seconds?
Sure.
We started this at 6:10. It's now 7:07.
I realize. I see the time. 42 minutes.
Holy crap, dude.
There's a lot to talk about when you're talking about this tech stuff, dude. That and
Oh
I have a
my
lot of
God.
like really people. I have a lot of really people segments, so leave me alone. People didn't like
All right,
it. They could
continue.
skip
I just wanted
around.
to drop that thought.
Yeah, I've been paying attention to the time too. I've also smelled dinner, and I'm getting hungry.
Well then.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Is that the iPad Pro, though, seems cool. The pen seems a little bit more advanced. It seems to have like more of a better gyro or something, some sort of, it's sensing tilt. So you can literally put it on its side and sketch it like you would a pen or a pencil if you were wanting to shade something. You can pretty much do that. I don't know how that works because the Wacom stuff, the pens, they do that, but they don't do it that well. So it's strange. So I'm wondering what they're using for that.
Yeah.
That intrigues me. The stylus in of itself is cool to me. The rest of it, not worth my money. Sorry. It's kind of like the iMac or the Macs. They're cool, but they don't do a lot of things that, well, they do a lot of things, but they don't game very well. So that's kind of out of the question for me. That and my job requires me to, depending on where I go, will most likely tell me to use a Windows running computer because 3ds Max is a Windows computer only. And my used to be Apple only, but now it's both Apple and Windows because they realized, wait, we can make more money. Pretty much. So yeah, that's my spill about that. I covered the Android, I covered the yep, I'm done. Also does not have Force Touch. Force Touch, I don't believe, as I'm dying here. So the iPad Pro does not have Force Touch. But it has a pen. Yay.
I like pens.
Yes. Anyways, so
That's what I got out of all that.
that's my spiel for that. I honestly can't wait to see what they do, because with the iPhone 6s, the S models are generally just hardware updates. I'm curious as how they're going to design the new iPhone for the 7, because generally they do 2 generations and then they do a total overhaul of the look of the phone. So I'm curious how they're going to make it look. Rumors are that they're going to make the thinnest phone ever. How fucking did you want to fucking make this without sacrificing battery life? They already had to add... Here's the other thing. Just one more thing. They had to add a little bit of depth. I think depth, height? I forget. I don't know anymore. Anyways, they had to make it thicker because of the Force Touch. Only a couple millimeters, but it's there. And it's not really noticeable. It's also heavier for the what I've heard is it's heavier for the Plus model, the 6S Plus model, because they also reinforce the body, so bend gate shouldn't happen. Though if you're bending your phone at the what people probably watch Unbox Therapy or that he did a bend test with an actual bending scale for pressure, and this thing goes way over. To bend it goes way over the threshold of 30 pounds of pressure. I think is what it was to bend the iPhone 6. It went up to about 80. The critical fail was 80 or so, I forget. Anyways, go look at his video. Just it's easy to find. Just search Unbox Therapy, you'll find it easily. He's got a whole spiel about the aluminum that they're using, the 7000 series aluminum, and blah 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 blah. Anyways, bend gate should not be a thing anymore. Well, hopefully it won't be unless people are really stupid. Let's put it that way. I'm sad because my phone it has that issue. It's bent. Very slightly. It's nothing dramatic. It's noticeable when you take it out of the case. But I have a OtterBox Defender on mine. And the case is fucked up as it is, the rubber part. Because I pick at it and I pull it. So it's not as stiff anymore. So I can't even tell.
Yeah, I've broken almost, like, at this point, 1.5 cases that are supposed to be life-proof.
Yeah, mine's not life-proof. Mine's just defending from drop damage and some dust.
I got, like, the $100 ones. Twice.
Yeah. The funny thing is that mine's
and it's almost $150 dead.
Yeah. So was mine. The frickin' cases are expensive as fuck. Especially since they
I mean, hey, it worked. I didn't break it.
OtterBox sells them in 2 pieces. So one's $30 and one's almost $60. And that's for the plastic. The plastic's cheaper than the rubber. Let's put it that way. Wait, I might have that backwards. But at least that's how they were selling them in store. I'm just like, really? Why are these things so fucking expensive? You're lucky I don't want my phone to break within the first 2 seconds of me having it.
Right.
And I've taken it out of the case and to clean the inside. I don't like how thin it is. I really don't. The case, the phone is thin enough that the case feels okay in my hand, except for when you had like the 5 or the 4, and the cases were even bigger because of the phone being bigger.
Yeah.
So the case is actually nice to hold in your hand. It's not like bulky. You can see it in my pocket, but yeah. And someone can input a penis joke here if you really freaking want to.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Okay. I just thought about that. I'm like, someone can make a joke there. All right, do you have anything else to say? Because I'm actually completely utterly done. I am talked the fuck out, and people are like, shut the up! But that's like the big news of this month is that. I can't say anything about Microsoft. Microsoft They launched Windows 10. Okay. I don't like the privacy issues, and I'm me, so I don't trust myself updating my own system. Because I most likely will break everything. I don't know what it will
Jeez.
break. That's the issue. I don't know what it will break. It can break games. It can break. I think OBS, OBS multi-platform, which is what I'm using to record this, I think has a Windows 10 compatible version now. iTunes, I believe, is a compatible version. Steam is a compatible version. And I'm not sure about LibreOffice, which is what I use for Word docs, because I'm not paying for a subscription for freaking 360 Office. And that's about it. So I haven't heard anything. Android, I can barely keep track of because they have so many things coming out. And the only biggest news I was really intrigued by was the fact that they've expanded the range of their wearables. They can go out to more devices now. Actually, there was one thing. Windows apparently is, Microsoft is giving the entirety of New York City's police department, I think it's New York, Windows phones. So that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the only like Windows stuff I've heard of recently, other than, hey, Windows is out. Windows 10's out. Okay, congratulations. That's come and gone by now. The biggest thing right now is Apple. Yeah. So.
Number one, Red Ash got fully funded by a company outside of the Kickstarter, and Kickstarter failed, so I no longer get it unless I find out where it is and when it comes out. And they still haven't released Mighty Number 9. That's my nerd talk. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's awesome. I can't wait for it. It's going to be like Mega Man Legends.
Make sure to subscribe to the Dot.Sain channel if you want to see Red Ash or Mighty Number 9 whenever the fuck it comes out.
In like 3 years.
Probably.
But anyway, also, my brain just crashed because it always crashes after long technical talks.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, the other thing was,
this is why I want you to go
Halloween.
First.
Halloween is coming up. And it's very important because I did a lot of work on animation, and it's going to get old after like 30. How many days are in Halloween? 31? 31 days of seeing the animation because I'm going to upload every fucking day, hopefully.
There's so many videos he's planning on doing. We're planning on putting out Lucius 1 first. We might do Lucius 2. I'm not sure.
Don't spoil all of it. Shush, shush, shush.
My stream already knows half this damn shit. So,
well, I know. It's just...
Those are the only two that I know of that you're playing. I don't know any of the other games. Those are just the 2 games I'm joining in on. So, there you go.
I have like 5, and I have thoughts for others.
Okay. Well, that's fun.
Yeah, that's a thing. Plus, I don't know. I'm trying to upload more videos, so I'm actually going to upload 3 this next week coming up. I don't know when we're putting this up here.
I can put it up tomorrow.
Next week from the point we're doing it.
I can put it up tomorrow. We can have it overlapping on another video. I'll just schedule it for you. Usually do on Mondays around 2.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to do. Is my Tuesday, Thursdays at around 2. So I can put it at like around 4 or something.
Tomorrow's Sunday.
Yeah, but I meant like if I edit it tomorrow, I can get it out. If I can get it out before 4, I'll do it then. But otherwise, I can put it out Monday around 4.
Oh yeah, that's not a problem. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
technically,
yeah. So that's a thing.
Yeah.
So that's a thing, yes. And
so look forward to it. He's put a lot of effort into it, so please do check it out.
If you want, I'm not going to make you do anything.
Do it!
For me. I'm doing it for me. If you just happen to like it, well, good for you. I'm very proud of you.
Do it!
You get a gold star.
Do it!
And a jack-o'-lantern. Anyway, so the other thing, it's completely random, but as my symbol is consistently the symbol of a panda, at least on Scanoru's gaming channel and on streaming and stuff like that, I like pandas. There's a site called pandathings.com, which I've already talked about in his stream consistently, but they're awesome, and I'm getting a jacket from there, and I'm super excited. And the money that you buy this stuff, and like 5% of the funds go to helping pandas. So yay. That's it. That's all I got.
I'm pretty sure if we go to a zoo anytime soon, I will be at the tiger pen and you'll be at the panda pen.
Panda.
Or exhibits, I should say.
Oh my god, we should go to a zoo! I want to see a panda.
Fuck,
I've
why
never
did I
seen like
mention
a
this?
panda in
Fuck.
real life.
Alright, well, schedule it, and the only one I know on is south of us. I'm not going to say
Have
where
I
it is.
ever even been to a zoo?
I have, multiple times. I've been there 3 times within my high school career.
Oh, well, I never went to the field trip, so that'd be why.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's all. So, yeah.
That's all I have.
Let us wrap up!
much
I'm
to
sorry
talk
that
about.
my basically almost half an hour lecture happened. Whatever.
It was more than half an hour.
Shut up.
But anyway,
Well, I'm
So,
sorry. You find
I
more
guess,
stuff to talk about then.
I'm not going to do an hour-long podcast. I'm just not going to.
Well,
I
too bad it's already
refuse.
been an hour. We are at 55
hate
minutes,
you.
sir.
Jesus Christ, Seth.
Oh, please.
So anyway,
most podcasts I look at are that long.
I don't. I mean,
Podcasts
good, I'm
are
proud of
that
you.
long.
I'm proud of you.
All of the
I
podcasts
had a lot
are
of
that
fun.
long.
I don't know that because I've never watched a podcast that was longer than that because I wouldn't watch a podcast longer than that.
Well, that's why you have podcasts put out on, say, the podcast app on iTunes or whatever other There's a menagerie of different podcast apps out there, but you just have to get them there. We don't have that type of
podcast
energy, and I don't know how to do it, so I don't know how to put it out on like,
energy.
I don't have the knowledge. I'm tired. Leave me alone. The tech talk. I need to pass out and go eat, or do that
Oh my
reverse.
God. You killed yourself.
I killed myself.
You killed yourself.
Bad
Either
thing is
way,
you gotta
I'm super
stream-
excited about all those things,
Yeah,
and I'm
I am
excited
too.
because this might be random and nobody knows how long my hair is, so it doesn't matter. But I'm thinking about cutting my hair. Not all the way, but short enough that I can keep it straight if I want to go emo that day, but long enough that if I keep it curly, it'll still be like long and wavy. Yeah, that's a random thing.
Near a
I just
webcam
dropped
near
off.
you.
Not even Seth. I'm not gonna buy a webcam, although I thought about it, but that means I'd have to be dressed while I record.
I don't want to know
Seems
what
so
you're wearing
true.
right now. I don't want to know. I don't want to know if you're not wearing anything. I don't want to know. I don't want to know if you're in your underwear. I don't care.
I'm wearing pajamas,
So am I. Because I'm fucking lazy.
but I have a bad time wearing shirts, so you know.
I don't need... Okay, we're done here. That's a good ending point. I love it. This is
Bye,
great.
guys.
Bye. Thank you
That's
for
been
tuning in.
DotSAIn podcast number 2.
Yes, number 2.
I've been Scanoru.
And I've been SethCane. And tune in for next month's, that's October's. Oh my, that should be fun. October's podcast, because we do one every month. We're just very late for this one.
We're trying
I'd rather get it done like before September ends or the week of the 1st of October. But we're terrible at
I mean, sure,
scheduling
whatever.
shit.
Let's do it in the middle of October, because if we do it in the middle, then we actually have like
Stuff to
time
say.
to reflect on Halloween.
But Halloween happens at the end of the month, you dolt.
By the way, Halloween's free! But we're going to be doing Halloween basically for the entire fucking month. Like, I'm going to be
He
so
is.
amped for it. Everybody at work is going to want to kill me because it's just like, what have you been doing? Editing for Halloween. Yay! They're going to be like, calm the fuck down.
I might kill him. I can't kill him. What am I talking
The
about?
other really... Well, that's true. I don't think anybody can unless they have a gun at this point. Hell, I have a weapon being commissioned that's like a chain and a scythe, and I know how to wield it one-handed. Sort of.
Alright, on that note, don't fuck with him. He's going to be the Grim Reaper for Halloween, and...
No, I'm going to be Shigure from Kenichi. You know, the whole big boobs ninja thing? She has that
I hope
weapon.
you can hear this.
Did you hit me?
I just hit myself.
Oh.
I
Hey, you
face-palmed.
face-palmed.
I
It's been a lot
face-palmed.
of times since I've done that. If I had to face-palm for every time I felt like face-palming, I probably wouldn't have a head anymore. That's why I stopped.
I think I have a hemorrhage.
You should go
Or
eat.
hematoma. One of the two. Oh, my head
Bye,
hurts now.
guys.
Bye!